What's up, everybody? It's PB here, and I'm back with another review for STARGIRL, episode 11, Shining Night. I mean, that's not how they said it in the beginning. Actually, they never say the titles for any of these. They never even put them on the screen, do they? I don't remember when they put them on the screen. Maybe they do. I know they have them on the screen when I select the episode on DC Universe. Anyway, if it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're excited to talk about STARGIRL, go ahead and hit that like button. If you are not excited to talk about STARGIRL, go ahead and hit that dislike button. Or if you're just here to hate on me, because, you know, there's always one person. There's always one person. If you're not new here, you know how we do it. I'll talk about the episode non-spoiler first, and then we'll get into the spoilers, so that if you're not caught up with the episodes, you can get my feelings and thoughts, and then if you are caught up, you can stick around for the spoilers, or if you just want to stick around for my recap, so you don't have to watch the episode and you still know what's going on, that's great too. Without further ado, let's get into it right now. This was another great episode. Now, it was short on action. There was no big fight scenes or massive confrontations between the JSA or the ISA or anything like that. Another negative spoiler, if anybody's keeping track of this type of bullshit. Jeez, you people and your negative spoilers. I mean, I know a lot of people don't care about that. I would care about that maybe if somebody said it to me and I was like, oh, well, now I don't have to worry about there being a clash, but, you know, maybe somebody does run into it. I don't know if you watch the previews for the episode, the one preview that they have at the end of every CW run, so you know who runs into each other, but I'm not going to say that now. I don't want to spoil anything for you. But yeah, it was light on action, but it was a slow burn, and the title was Shining Night. I thought that he, being the janitor, because I assume that all of us here know that he's the Shining Knight. I mean, for the love of God, he saved STARGIRL from Shiv, I think, in episode 7? Something like that? I'm pretty sure it was episode 7. With his giant-ass sword. Like, who the hell else could he possibly be? That's who he is. And I thought that, you know, he was going to be introduced as a character the way that they introduced all of the rest of them, like Brainwave Jr. in the previous one. They're like, hey, this is going to be his introduction episode. Granted, it didn't end the way I was expecting. Holy shit. Go back and watch my review from last week. Holy shit, like, my god. That's how you beat evil. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, the way that they introduced all of the other heroes was completely different to the way that they were introducing this one, given that the title was the hero's name. I mean, the title is Shining Night. You'd think he would be the focus of the episode. I wouldn't say that he was the focus of the episode, but he was definitely... he was crucial to it. I wouldn't say the focus, but he was definitely crucial to it. So it was a slow burn. It'll be another episode where CW doesn't have to cut anything. It'll definitely fit in their 1 hour time slot, and they'll get the maximum amount out of their commercials. Way to go, CW. Anyway, that was a big pause that I'm going to have to cut out, so you're not even going to know that it was there. I like this episode one hell of a lot. It progressed the story forward. There were a lot of small things that were happening, and damn it, if they didn't make me want to play the next episode immediately. Like, I got done watching it, and I turned to the wife and I said, son of a bitch, 7 days. And she's like, what? I was like, 7 days until Stargirl episode 12. And she's like, shut the hell up. And I was like, no, I will not. I want to watch it now, damn it. But I can't. I gotta wait until it gets released on Sunday night in America, 11 p.m. Central Time. And then I'll watch it, and then it'll take me forever to do another review. Anyway, that's the short non-spoiler review. I don't know how much more I'd be able to say about it without giving shit away. I already did a negative spoiler, everybody. I mean, son of a bitch. I'm doing that type of shit. Yeah, Shining Knight. It was a good one. Didn't focus on him as much as I thought it was, but I loved it a lot. I would definitely put it in the better half of episodes with how much they use the villains that are in it. That's how you do non-spoiler. Yeah. Okay, anyways. Now, anybody who's going to stick around for the spoiler part, thank you very much. Anybody who doesn't want to stick around for it, you got about 5-10 seconds, somewhere in that neighborhood, to get the fuck out of here before I don't know, shit in your cereal that is Staurios? Does that work? No, that was a terrible joke. Nobody comment about that down below. Just move on from that and talk about the episode. Let me know what you thought about it. Anyway, here come the spoilers, everybody. The episode starts off with the fucking janitor, and he's just walking around in the middle of nowhere. And he's looking for his horse. And he talks to some random farmer, and the farmer's like, you weirdo, I told you to get the hell off of my property, or I'm calling the cops again. He's like, oh, I'm just looking for my steed. It has, I don't know, fire in its heart and desire in its eyes, or something like that. I don't know. It's a special horse because he's a Shining Knight. And I'm not an expert on Shining Knight. The only things that I know about Shining Knight is from watching Justice League Unlimited. That's it. All I know is he's from back in the day. He traveled through time somehow, and he ended up in our timeline. Whatever. He joined whatever group of superheroes he could join, and then he just keeps fighting a good fight. And he's got a bitchin' fucking horse, and apparently Excalibur. And he keeps seeing these random visions, and he's like, oh, well, he sees frickin' Pat wearing his Stripes t-shirt up on the fucking hill. Well, he ain't there. It's just him having a tumor moment. Like, he needs to get his brain checked out by somebody who's not Dr. Henry, son of a bitch, I don't remember his last name, Brainwave. Like, if he has him check his brain, he's gonna melt the fuck out of it, so that's not gonna work out for him. Anyway, he goes, oh, Stripesy will be able to help me. That'll be great. And then we get the intro, and it cuts to a bus driving into town. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch, I know what fucking Geoff this is. I mean, that's the actor's name. It's Geoff Stultz. Geoff Stultz is Stargirl Courtney Whitmore's father in the show. Which, looking at the picture, I was like, oh, Geoff Stultz, Joel McHale, you put a beard on both of them? I could see that. That's quite similar, especially if you put a shitty picture of him up. Yeah, I get that. So he just shows up in town, apparently. Didn't know that was happening if you didn't see the preview. But I knew it was happening. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. And then they cut to Courtney, Pat, Barbara in the basement, and they're talking about everything. And he's like, well, I thought you were going to... Pat says to Barbara, I thought you were going to leave. It's like, oh, I can't leave now. Brainwave just murdered his son, and he's going to try and take over the Midwest and Plains, or something like that. You know, this 6-state area. They're doing some evil plot. I can't just leave when everyone is in danger without warning people. And I was like, okay, Barbara, okay. I guess you understand what it means to be a superhero. And then they're having their conversation, and Mike comes downstairs, you know, Pat's son. And Pat's like, Mike, I thought you were asleep. He's like, no, I had a paper route, not my idea, yours, which was freaking hilarious. I was like, yeah, he didn't want to be doing his paper route. Of course he's up in the morning. He's up every freaking morning at the crack ass of dawn. At the ass crack of dawn? I said that backwards. Shit happens. Anyway, he's like, there's somebody upstairs looking for Courtney. Okay. So I know who it is. She ain't got no clue who it is. She goes upstairs, and it's this random fucking Geoff in her house. And his name is, I don't fucking care. It doesn't fucking matter what his goddamn name is. He abandoned her ass. That's not the point. That's not the point. He tells her, I'm your father. And she gives him the nastiest fucking glare, takes a step back and says, I don't believe you. You're not my father. Oh my god, I had to jump back like 3 times. I watched it over. I almost fell out of my goddamn chair. I was laughing so fucking hard. I was like, oh, denied. You are not going to be having any fatherly time with this daughter of yours, you son of a bitch. So then she's having a little breakdown and she's like, oh god, no, he's not my dad. He's not my dad. And she's going to go upstairs and she goes, I want to talk to Pat. And I was like, oh, really? You want to talk to Pat? And Barbara turns around and looks at Pat and just gives him a little head nod. And I was like, oh, interesting. So their relationship has grown that much in this little bit of time that she looks at him more of a father than she even looks at anybody else in her life. That she wants to talk to him more than her mother. Because it has to do with the fact that this son of a bitch that showed up, it's like, hey, I'm your dad. So that guy who you thought was your dad, that was a superhero that got killed by a villain that you've been trying to avenge, ain't your father, and I'm gonna blow up your entire fucking life. And I was like, oh my god, shit is fucking hitting the fan immediately. So him and Courtney go upstairs and they're fucking talking, and Mike bursts in, and Pat is like, dude, we're talking privately. And he's like, well, can't you just tell me what's going on? He's like, not now, Mike! He's like, what did I do wrong? And I was like, yeah, man, like, you're yelling at this kid. He just, like, his life, you ripped him. He grew up in California his entire life. You ripped him away from that, brought him to Nebraska. He just wants to know what's going on. And you're up in here bitching at him. Like, he just wants to talk to you, Dad. And Pat's like, well, I see where you're coming from. So he goes over and he's like, you know what, Mike? You ain't got to worry. You don't have to worry. You just go downstairs and we'll talk about this later. And, you know, we'll figure things out. So then downstairs, frickin' Courtney's father apparently is talking to Barbara and blah, blah, blah. Nobody gives a shit what this sumbitch has to say. At all. Like, we'll just gloss over that because you don't care, I don't care. He's a terrible fucking father. Right? Right. So then we cut to the janitor. He's having a fucking migraine above all fucking migraines. And he goes back to his school because, you know, he keeps his sword with all of his mops, you know, for safety. For safety. That's why I would keep my sword, right? With my mops. Because nobody goes in the janitor closet ever. And it's like, hey, what's this giant fucking sword doing with these mops? Like, my god, man, that doesn't seem safe at all. And he finds this flyer of Pat at the pit stop. And he's like, oh, I can go to the pit stop and Stripesy will help me. Cool. So Courtney's dad decided that she don't need to go to school on time. Great call, Dad. They're just going to go for a short little walk and they're going to talk things out. Okay? Okay. They're walking through frickin' Blue Valley and they're having a conversation about only God knows fucking what. You don't care. I don't care. He's just trying to explain why he's such a shit father. How the fuck you gonna explain how you abandon your child? I don't give a fuck if you didn't want to be with her mother, but you ain't gotta abandon your fucking child, you piece of shit. Like, that's completely fucking different. Anyway, it's the start of the day. I thought everybody's going to fucking school. Pat gets to fucking work. Beth and Rick are at the pit stop, and Pat expected Yolanda to be there too. Don't these kids have to go to school? Like, they were just talking about how Courtney had to go to school, but then he expects Yolanda to be there with the other kids. Like, I didn't understand, like, what time does school start? Fucking noon? I don't know what time school starts in Blue Valley. I don't think anybody knows what time school starts in Blue Valley. They never give us a number. So they're standing there, and sure shit, fucking the janitor, you know, the shining knight, he shows up to the garage with his sword, with his giant ass fucking sword. So he apparently just walked through town, and everyone's like, oh, don't worry about it, it's the crazy fucking janitor. He always walks through town with a sword. Don't worry, we seen a girl flying through on a glowing staff last week. This is normal. Holy fuck, like, Blue Valley is a crazy fucking town. And when he gets there, he hallucinates that Pat is the Dragon King and Rick and Beth are some drones. And he pulls his sword out, and starts swinging at him like a fucking crazy man. And Pat is able to finally talk him down. And he's like, oh my god, like, we need to get you some help. Like, he said that he lost his mind. Like it had been taken from him. I don't know exactly what that means, but if Dr. Ito can give Brainwave his memories back, I assume that it can work in reverse, as in you can be stealing someone's memories, right? Right. Back at, I don't know, what's the business that Jordan McKent owns? Somebody in the comments tell me below, because it's been a while since I heard it. The place that is trying to build Project New America. He gets to work, and him and Brainwave, you know, Dr. Henry, they're talking, and he's like, hey man, I killed my fucking wife and son for Project New America. I'm going to go and kill all of the frickin' Justice Society. I'm gonna kill Pat. I'm gonna kill Barbara. I'm gonna kill everybody. And Jordan says, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, you can't be killing Barbara. He's like, wait, what do you mean I can't be killing Barbara? You are gonna hold up this entire frickin' project over the sentiment of a woman? You have got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. And he's all frickin' pissed off. Like, I'd be pissed off too if I was a supervillain. Like, we got this whole plan that we've been working towards for years and years, and now some blonde, quote, floozy, from his point of view, just strolls into town and you fall for her because she got a family? Like, come on, man, get your fucking villain pants back on, son of a bitch. Like, get with the program. And then I thought that the conversation between Courtney and her dad was going to be over. It wasn't over. They go to the fucking diner. Like, they said they were going for a walk, so this motherfucker lied again to Barbara. Like, yeah, I'm coming for Christmas 10 years ago, and we're also just going for a walk. You can't even fucking tell the truth about the small things, you piece of shit. Like, come on. Unbelievable. Like, you said you're going for a walk, and now they went to the fucking diner, and they had fucking waffles. And they're talking about life. Unbelievable. Like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Son of a bitch. And then we get back to the fucking pit stop, and Pat is trying to get the janitor, the Shining Knight, to remember who the fuck he is. As he can't fucking remember. All his memories are gone. And he's like, oh, you know, I always remembered that when we were together back in the day, when he was part of his previous group that wasn't the Justice Society, which was the Seven Soldiers or something, blah, blah, I don't fuck. It was a terrible name because there was 8 of them. I don't remember what the name is. Somebody in the comments remind me, and then I will give you a heart and a thumb up. It'll be fantastic. Right? Right. Anyway, he starts telling all these stories about back in the day, about how he got Excalibur from King Arthur on his deathbed. And then Pat's like, how about you tell me the story about how you got to Blue Valley? Apparently, he was abducted by the Injustice Society of America at the fight that they had 10 years ago when Starman was killed, and then they stole all of his fucking memories. Cool. I was like, that is some supervillain shit happening right there. Impressive. So what does he do? He brings him back to his house. And Barbara's like, what's wrong with this guy? He's like, well, he used to be a partner of mine way back in the day. Way back in the day. And the villains did something bad to him. And she's like, well, he seems like he's got some serious problems, so I'm going to make up the guest bed for him. And I was like, this fucking bitch. This mom right here, she just can't stop being a mom. Barbara, you keep being you. I love it. Fantastic. So then Courtney and her dad, they get back from going on this walk, and they decide to, sit outside and have a little chat about, oh, I don't know, him getting the fucking locket back that he gave to her. And why does he want it back? Oh, because he said that when he gets settled in Los Angeles, she can come and visit him, right? Right. And the only way he's going to be able to get settled is if he can take the 2 lockets and sell them or pawn them or get rid of them in some fashion so that he can make a down payment on a house, because he's just living in a shoebox right now that ain't big enough for tiny little Courtney Whitmore to sleep on her or his fucking couch. Like, that's not, your apartment in Los Angeles isn't big enough for this 120-pound girl or less. She's 5'2". She can't sleep on your couch? And she goes, oh, you just need the lock? And he goes, yeah, I'll buy you some earrings or, a bracelet or something to make up for it. She goes, oh, well, yeah, I guess you can just take it then. And she gives him the locket. And what does he do? Immediately, he stands up, doesn't even say thank you, nothing, doesn't give her a hug or a kiss on the cheek or anything like that. No affection is shown. He stands up, takes the locket, and leaves and says, okay, I'll see you in a couple months. And I died laughing. I was like, wow, what a terrible piece of shit. This fucking guy here. I mean, I know some terrible pieces of shit in real life, like, personally, and he definitely qualifies for the list. Like, Geoff, you've played better roles. I mean, you brought this one to life real good, but go play a different character that I can like and don't have to hate, because I hate the fuck out of this character, and you did it perfectly. Like, son of a bitch. So then she goes back inside, and Pat's standing there, and he goes, yeah, I seen what happened outside, so, you're gonna have all these feelings, so if you need somebody to yell at or scream at or throw at or anything like that, to feel your feelings, I'm here for you. I can take it. And she just breaks down and cries and fucking hugs him. And I was like, oh my god, like, she just lost 2 fathers in the course of one afternoon. Not even after, it's still the morning probably. Like, these kids were supposed to be in school. It's a fucking school day. He showed up. She found out her dad's not Starman. He's a piece of shit. He don't ever want to see her again. He just wanted the locket so he could make some money, because you can't sell the locket if it comes in a pair. As one, you need both of them or else it ain't gonna be fucking worth nothing. Right? So then he's gonna sell them fucking, he ain't never gonna see her again. So he lost that father too, so you're down 2 fathers. But at least you got the best one of all. Pat, way to go. Fantastic. So, I mean, you don't lose everything. So what's Pat do immediately? Proportional response. He jogs down the street, tracks down that motherfucker, and says, you know what? Don't ever come back here. And he goes, oh, I wasn't planning on it, tough guy. And Pat goes, you don't understand how special that little girl is. And, there's more into it. I don't remember the exact quote, and I don't want to get it wrong. But it was beautiful. And then Pat decks that motherfucker in the face and says, you're lucky I'm busy, and walks away. Oh man, what a beautiful fucking line. Like, that's what you do. Like, you are worth the 1 punch to knock down, but you aren't worth the time for me to beat the ever-living shit out of you. Because I got more important fish to fry, or more important fish to melt, because they're an icicle. Not all of the puns work on the first try. The whole end of the episode is pretty much dedicated to Courtney, deciding that she's not Stargirl because she's not Starman's daughter, and the staff doesn't work for her anymore. And Pat says to her that, Courtney, the staff The staff knew the entire time that you weren't Starman's daughter, and it worked for you because you believed in you. So as soon as you believe in you again, then the staff will work again for you. And at the same time, Jordan decides that, he's got to be a supervillain, goes into Barbara's office, calls the IT guy on the phone, says unlock the computer, and goes, okay, search history's deleted. Can you restore her history, please? He restores the history. And sure shit, the first thing on the history is Starman murdered by Icicle. And he's like, oh, fuck. Hangs the phone up and walks away. So I assume that the guy running IT can see what's on the computer too. Because I know how the person in IT works. Like, they can see everything you can see. So they know that he's all pissed off about this. Like, that IT person must know he's working for a villain. So don't cross him, IT guy, or else you'll be fucked. You'll be royally fucked. So apparently we find out, yeah, it is a school day. Because Courtney finally made it to fucking school, just in time for lunch. Which, if it was a pizza day, good call. You don't want to be missing pizza day. If it was a fish stick day, or a fish nugget day, fuck that. That's one problem I have with the Catholics. Every time Lent rolls around, we gotta have fucking fish on Friday instead of pizza. You bastards, get over your ridiculous meat hang-ups. It's just meat. For the love of God, fish is also a meat. Do you not understand that? That's not the point. The point is, she's at school, and she's telling everybody at school that she's not Stargirl anymore because the staff don't work. And they're like, no, man, the staff is going to work for you. That's not what the problem is. And they're having an assembly where they're honoring Henry Jr. because he was a wonderful kid. And who do they have speaking? His father. And he's talking to everybody, but he's only talking to Stargirl with his mind and tells her that Henry's death is her fault. So what does she do? She runs home in the middle of the day. So she's at school for a solid 25 minutes. She was there for lunch and an assembly. Greatest day of school ever. Ever. Somebody in the comments refute me. I don't think you can. I don't think you can ever. Like, if you go to school and all you did there was no schooling, greatest day of school ever, right? She runs home. She's like, I need the staff. Brainwaves knows who we are. He remembers me. He remembers you. And he's going to murder all of us. And Pat goes, well, son of a bitch, like, you need to get out of town then. This ain't going to work. Okay. But if you need the staff, like, you need the staff to work. And it's only going to work if you believe in you. So what does she do? She goes, I need you, Pat, and Mom, Barbara. I need you to come downstairs with me. Just stand there with me, and I need you two together to believe in me. She grabs the staff out of the crate and lifts it up. And she just, I guess, thinks for a little while. And then somebody did some excellent camera work because the staff starts to glow in her eyeballs before we see it glow. Like, it was a beautiful fucking shot. And if DC Universe would let me screenshot it, I'd show it to you. But if you watch the episode, you'll be able to see it. Like, it was spectacular. And I thought that was going to be the end of the episode. It was not. And I was a little disappointed. I was like, where is the Shining Knight going to be? Like, what is going on? And sure shit, he creeps downstairs and sees her holding the staff. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to be on board with that. And he says, our queen has risen. So apparently he believes that whoever is able to operate the staff is supposed to be the person who he follows. So did King Arthur have the cosmic staff way back in the day? I don't know. If you know, if there's some fucking comic book out there that says something about that, that would be spectacular. And then again, I thought the episode was going to end, but we got one more short scene. They cut to Brainwave and Icicle in their little underground headquarters lair where the mural is, and they have a little conversation. And Brainwave just thinks to him, and he goes, ooh, I'm glad you've decided to come around. And you've made the right decision. And Like last week when I said that Brainwave is the most evil motherfucker on this show because he killed his wife, he killed his son, he pulled the massive ego from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, right? Jordan Icicle had to one-up him here. He's like, yeah, you need to go and kill Stargirl, you need to kill Pat, you need to kill Barbara. And Brainwave starts walking away. He goes, whoa, and you need to kill the boy, Mike. We don't want to have a legacy running around. And I was like, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, you evil motherfucker. Like, son of a bitch. Like, you gotta one-up the other evil guy in the room to make sure that we know that you're the evil son of a bitch in charge. Because, you're center picture here. Like, if I could show you this screenshot too, I would. It's a perfect screenshot to show you that Icicle is the one in charge, not Brainwave. But I think that there is going to be a struggle for power in Season 2, maybe Season 3, because this show is definitely going to be on for a few seasons. I don't know if it's going to be the #1 show on CW, but it has a damn good chance because I feel like it's going to be my replacement for Arrow, because it is rapidly becoming my favorite CW show. It's just a hair behind DC's Legends of Tomorrow, because they don't have a character on it that is like Mick yet. Once they get that, then I'll be 100% on that Stargirl bandwagon, shilling like a motherfucker. Anyway, everybody, that's the whole episode. It was spectacular. You need to go watch it. Tell me what you thought about my review in the comments down below. Like this video, share this video. If you're new here, subscribe, and you will not miss my next review, which will be out in 1 week. And who knows, maybe I'll talk about something in between. But there are going to be some things popping up on the screen here in a couple moments. If you'd like to click on one of those, it'll take you to another video that I bet you'll enjoy. But until next time, everybody, I, Pop Culture PB, bid you adieu. If you are enjoying the content, please hit subscribe and ding the bell for notifications. That way you will never miss an upload by Pop Culture PB.